Okay, you guys, welcome to our messaging masterclass. I have received so many messages. I hear from my top leaders that they get messages too. What are these people doing that are enrolling so many brand partners? What are they sending? What are they doing? What does their day look like? What do their messages sound like? Well, that's what this call is. We pulled four of our top enrollers that are consistently at the top for both products, but also primarily for business. And I want you guys to hear from them. Now, what I have on the back end for you is a document that I will send out with this recording that has their top messages. And as they're speaking, I'm going to be typing out some of their top tips so that you have that to reference. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to go right in and start with Deanne. She's going to give us her top tips and we're going to move right through. Go on, girl.
Hi guys. Okay, super excited to share with you really quickly my top tips. In the last like 45-ish days, I've signed up 12 brand partners to my team, and I do not say that at all to like brag or anything, but I say that because I want you guys to know that consistency in this business is so important. Okay. The seeds that I planted 6 months ago are finally flourishing now. Okay. So I want you to know that if you don't put an end date on this business, if you're like, I'm going to be here for the long haul, the seeds you're planting today will prosper. Okay. So you just have to remember that. And then also keep in mind, you guys, I say I've been here for 6 months, but I've been in network marketing for 10 years. So I have a lot of relationships built up, and that has helped me as well. You just have to keep that in mind that your 6 months are not the same as my 6 months. And so don't get discouraged if you're seeing things not happen as quickly. They will happen though, as long as you stay consistent. Okay, so there are two main things that I think have really helped me though in the last 6 months that I have changed up and that I think have really helped me to get those brand partners to finally say yes. So number one is social media. And by social media, I mean being authentically you on social media, but really sharing the heck out of the business opportunity. I used to shy away from it. I was like, I don't really want to talk about the business. It's easier to talk about the product. But you have to share about the business. If you do not share about the business, people just they won't know that's an option. So why would someone sign up with you as a brand partner if they don't see you sharing about the business? Okay. And to be honest, I have never thought I was great at social media. And so I really leaned into using ChatGPT these last few months to help me like figure out my story and how I can share it. Now, I don't recommend going to ChatGPT and say create me this post and then copy and pasting it, throw it on your Facebook. I need you, oops, sorry, my video sometimes cuts out. I need you to make sure that you go back to that post. There we go. Sorry. You go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My video is really cutting out. Can you guys still see me or no? Okay, I'm so sorry. You go to that ChatGPT after you're done putting out a post and you read it. Does it sound computerized? Does it sound like something you would say? You need to adjust that and make it sound like you, okay? So go back to it and say, hey, I don't want so many emojis, whatever. But find something that works for you, tweak it a little bit, and start sharing that on your social media, okay? I think that's going to really help you be more confident in your social media as well, because then it'll help you feel like you're saying the things you want to say. A lot of times I'll just speak to my ChatGPT and tell it exactly what I want to say, and then I'll ask it to reword it as we go. Okay. And number two is leading with the business. So I used to lead only with talking about the products when it came to inviting. And now I initially right away, I go right to the business. I want people to join me for the business. I definitely still give them the opportunity to learn about the products because, right, they're not going to have a great business if they don't like our products. They have to be in love with our products as well. But I lead with the business right away. I want people to know that opportunity is there for them to earn an income. But it kind of leans back to it, you guys. If you're not posting on your social media about the business and you invite somebody to learn about the business, they go to your page and they're like, what the heck is she talking about? I haven't seen her post anything about a business. They're literally just going to be like, ghost, ignore. I'm not going to respond to her because I don't even know. Is this a bot? Like that's what they're thinking. So you have to go on your social media and still start there. Like tonight, take a picture of us being on here and just share about the business opportunity. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to be putting something out there. Okay. So again, start with the business opportunity in your post. Do not be scared about it. Post about it. Go crazy about it. Be loud. I remember Brianna telling me like once, I thought she was so loud on social media and I was like, I want to be like her. I'm attracted to that. So I was like, I need to be louder on social media. So be loud. You will not be annoying. Okay. And those invites need to be about the business. Okay. Lead with the business and be confident about the business. And I did share my flow, my script with Tara, and she'll share that, but it has worked really well with me for me to like be able to keep it short and sweet on the conversations and to get people to learn about the business. So that is all I have, social media and start with the business. I'm going to pass it over to Brianna.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to be super quick here. And what I want to tell you is that you have to be okay with getting no's. I think we fear sending the invites because we don't want to hear the word no. And here's the truth, guys, is business is a numbers game. And when you can remove your emotional attachment with what people say to you, you're going to go a lot farther because here's the deal. People are not saying no to you. They are saying no, honestly, because they don't believe in themselves when it comes to starting this business. Think back to when someone invited you to start the business. You probably thought, oh my gosh, I can't do what they do. How many of you looked at me or looked at Tara, whoever invited you, and said, I can't do what they do? I can't do this business, right? Most of us thought that. And so that's what your prospects are thinking too. And so we have to build belief in them. We have to reassure them that they would be good at this. We have to tell them why they would be good at this. I love in my messages saying, hey, Amanda, I thought of you because you're super authentic. I love what you share and you are just so real and genuine. Or I thought of you as a mom who I know you stay home and budgets are tight. And I think this could completely change your life. Again, we have all heard this quote before. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we have to care more about people as human beings than we do as an enrollment and a paycheck. Because the truth is that if people know you're only recruiting them to boost your volume, to boost your paycheck, to hit your goals, they don't care. They're going to slide right through. But if they know, like, okay, Brianna is speaking to me, Brianna is talking to me, Brianna looked at my social media and pointed things out, or wow, like when I was sharing how my mom was having health struggles, she got in my inbox and just said, I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about you. You know, how are things going? And so the number one thing I want to tell you is we have to just be real people and have real conversations with people without an agenda. Am I getting in people's inboxes constantly with inviting them to the business? Am I following up constantly? Yes. But not every time that I message someone is it about Bravenly and is it about the business. I'm watching their social media to see what are pieces of their life I can talk to them about? How can I relate to them as a human being, right? A lot of times, if someone tells me, no, I'm not interested, I try to ask them a question because I like to dig deeper. So here's my like one tip for you. And I forgot to start my timer. So I'm really going to cut short here is if someone tells you no, it is not a no forever. There are my top leaders who told me, Deanne, who you just heard from, told me no the first time I invited her to Bravenly. She actually went to a different company. It broke my heart, and I prayed for her every single day. I kept and continued to reach out to her as a friend, not as someone who was just wanting to do business with her. And eventually the time was right, and she came with me. Shelby Fensky, another top recruiter and top customer enroller, she ghosted me, guys, for 7 months. She would not even respond to my messages. Okay. Do you understand? And you know what she tells me? And if you watch her video in the partner preview, you know what she said? I'm so thankful Brianna didn't give up on me. Because that's the truth, guys, is people are not just a transaction. This is a relationship. And I want to be friends with people on social media, regardless if they ever enroll with me or not. And we have to have that mindset. And we have to have the long term. We are in a marathon, not a sprint. And I know it's so easy to look around and say, well, they just went director in their first month. Well, they just went executive director in 2 months. They just hit vice president in 24 hours. It seems like, but that's not the truth, is we just have to keep going and realize if we continue to be consistent, we continue to do the daily actions, they compound into an absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful business. But when you get lazy and you decide to stop sending messages, you're going to be wondering why no one is enrolling with you, and you're watching everyone else sign people up. And it's because they have been doing the dirty work when no one else is watching, and they're not getting an award for it. They're not being recognized at the top enroller. No one is signing up and they're getting frustrated, but they're sending the message anyways because they know that eventually that hard work will pay off. It will compound. And I can tell you, there are people who ghosted me for years. And then it just seems like all of a sudden the sky is falling and all of these people are enrolling. And I'm like, what is it? Like, what did I do? Deanne talked about the 12 people she enrolled, and people were wondering, what did you do? And she said, these are people I've been talking to for months. It just is, for some reason, a post I made resonated or something, a sale happened and it was the right time for them. But you have to, what we heard at one of our conferences is you have to discipline your disappointment, detach your emotion. It is not a no to you. It is not anything wrong with you when someone says no to you. It is them. It is not the right time for them. But if you continue to show up, you continue to be here, eventually they'll be ready. So I am going to pass it over if you can help me out, whoever goes next, because I don't have the message. Mel, I'm going to pass it over to the beautiful, amazing Mel. Okay.
All right. Hey, guys. So I want you to remember this. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting. You have to want to. It's not a matter of, do I have to? You have to want to. You have to show up every day. I know you guys have heard this. This is on repeat, but it's true. You have to show up in your news feed. You have to show up in your story, and you have to show up in the messenger. But how you work your algorithm is how people are going to see you. And the people need to see you. They need to see you, hear you, and feel your energy. You know what you are posting, bravenly or not. I right now cannot post bravenly, but I post a lot. And I attract people to me through conversation. So whether you're posting, I mean, it doesn't matter what you post. You have to post, and you have to want to post. You have to post any energy. For me, it's not an it's not a time thing. I post when I feel the need to post. There's no timing. The algorithm works when you work the algorithm. So you're in the story, you're replying to messages, replying to people watching your story, letting people know, hey, I see you watching. Thanks for watching. Open up the conversation, no matter what that looks like. But you have to allow people to get to know you and to open the door. Is your Facebook public? Is your sign open? Are you open for business? Because if you're not, someone else is. And again, you have to wake up every day wanting this. You have to go to bed every night feeling satisfied of what you accomplished that day. Whether it was 10 minutes, because that's what you had, or it was a couple of hours that you poured in. It doesn't matter. It's your business. And you have to get in there and dig in, because when you don't show up, people think, well, I guess they don't know. They don't know. You have to show up every day. You have to be open, turn on your sign. I was a business owner of a, brick and mortar. I had to go in, open the door, close the door, turn the lights out. To be able to do this from anywhere and not worry about that part is really cool. But like Deanne said, I've been in this industry 7 years, but I had a business prior to that since 2009. So I've been building that audience in a lot of different ways. How many Facebook friends do you have? If you're not at 5,000, you need to get busy, because you need followers on top of friends, and you need to recycle that all the time, because you need as many people's eyes on you as possible. And if you're not out there friending and building relationships, and you're just sending messages without the relationship, that's not going to really go anywhere, because you have to allow them to get to know you and see if you connect on some level somewhere, on the spectrum. So, well, I do the power hours. So I host power hours now, and we break it down minute by minute, and we get in there, whether it's birthday messages, story post, algorithm, and it all works when you work it. So that's what you need to do, is stand in front of the mirror, either tonight, tomorrow, whatever that is, and have a conversation about what do I need to do? Not what someone's going to do for me. It's what do I need to do to make this business work for me? Because the opportunity is the best I've ever seen. I don't know about you, but I am loving it. The products are amazing. The opportunity is incredible. We just have to get people here to experience it. And then there you go. All right. So don't forget, some will, some won't. So what? Someone is waiting. All right. I'm passing it on to Kim.
Hey y'all, I'm Kim. I'm like the newbie here. I just joined in August, and I'm so honored to be asked to speak on this call. I love teaching, I love training, and so I've got my speech ready, and I'm going to try to talk really fast. I'm starting my stopwatch. I told Tara, I'm like, I could just go, go, go. So there we go. It started. Okay, so I'm just excited, like I said, to pour into y'all tonight and share what's been working well for me with messaging, not from a place of perfection, but from a place of genuine conviction and experience. So the first thing I want to talk about is mindset. Because honestly, the mindset you bring into your messaging matters more than anything you actually type. So if you're sitting there feeling like you're bothering people or you're afraid of being rejected, that energy comes through loud and clear on the other side. And so whether you mean for it to or not, and if you are afraid of the no, you either won't message people at all, or you're going to message in a really timid and an apologetic tone. No one wants to sign up with someone like that. It's your confidence, it's your passion. This past weekend, a girl that I've been talking to for months about Bravenly messaged me. She was supposed to be at my in-person event. And she said, Kim, I feel like, I just have to say, I feel like I know you. You are totally my kind of person. And you know what? She said she'd done MLM. It hadn't really worked for her. She's like, I don't think it's me. But she said, I realized watching you that it's your energy and your passion that draws people in. And she's absolutely right. But here's the truth. This is not a Kim thing. This is an everyone thing. I was telling Tara a story about Brianna and her darn lemonade rush. And I'm like, I just need a buttload of whatever she's drinking because the girl poops rainbows and sunshines. I can't miss her stories a day. She hypes me up. She's like, this is my rush. And I only got 3 hours of sleep, but I feel amazing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's my favorite person in life. And whatever she's buying, I need 50 bags. So I feel her energy every day. It was actually convicting watching her at the beginning because I had been really sick and had a lot of spiritual warfare and a lot of things. And my energy was down the tubes. And I would watch her. I'm like, that's the kind of energy I want to have. Tara's the same way. But people feel your heart before they ever read your words. And so sometimes we just need a moment to get ourselves into the right place. A quick prayer. It might be a worship song that you listen to, a scripture, an anchor thought, an affirmation of who you are in Christ, whatever helps you remember. Because maybe some of your trauma is, I'm bothering people, or I'm a bother, or I'm unworthy of people saying yes to me, or I said these terrible words to Tara the other day. I don't deserve so-and-so to sign up for under me. Whatever it is, guys, the stuff that gets, you might need something. I need you to remember before you message who you are and who you are representing. So go into messaging from a place of peace, conviction, and purpose. Because here's what I deeply believe: we are not bothering people. I truly believe that what I have is a gift. And the people on the other side of that screen, they need improved health and finances now more than ever, y'all. And so like when I don't send a message, I told Tara this last week, someone else's prayer goes unanswered. I think about the Kim on the other side of the screen where I was years ago, praying night after night in my Bible, wrestling, asking the Lord for healing, begging for improved finances and direction. And I am forever thankful that someone chose obedience over fear because her willingness to share became my blessing. Now, my obedience, me showing up, me sharing, me casting vision and spreading hope becomes someone else's blessing. So yes, I'm honestly convicted that it would be, I always tell people like it would be like wrong. I feel selfish if I don't share, but I'm going to take it further than selfish. I feel like it's sinful for me not to send the message because of what I know God can do through a simple act of faithfulness. Look at the cloud of witnesses here. I do feel like it would not just be selfish, but sinful for me not to share. And when you carry that level of conviction, my friends, the rest takes care of itself. People feel the passion, they feel your sincerity, and they respond to your heart. But let me share something just a little bit more practically. So I am an Enneagram 1. I call myself a recovering perfectionist. And so for a long time, I was obsessed with finding the perfect verbiage. I wasted so much time trying to message what I felt like was the right way, which was actually fear dressed up. And even deeper, it was actually me trying to manage other people's perceptions of me, which was fear of man. Whew. Some of us are still doing that, right? And so one day it finally clicked. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. The pressure is off. And the sooner you get clear on who you are and what your story is, who you were before Bravenly and who you are uniquely called to help, the easier messaging becomes. You're not trying to sound like Brianna or Tara or me or Amy or any other leader. And we can fall into that trap, but you need to talk to the women God assigned to you. And a little tool, someone else shared this, is ChatGPT. Guys, I resisted it at first because I'm very authentic. I want it to be my voice, me handwriting it. But my chat knows me so well now. She writes things exactly the way that I would say them. It saves me time. It prevents me from analysis paralysis and getting in my head and taking way too long to take post or make a message or whatever it is, and helps me show up more consistently in my own voice. Okay, now I'm going to get really honest about something. Here's the truth. Most people are not messaging enough people. We want to pick the perfect people. We want to wait for a sign, or obsess over the wording, like I said, but messaging works like sowing seeds. And scripture tells us that some seeds will fall on rocky soil. Some will get choked out. Some will land on fertile ground, which is what we're looking for. But our job is not to control the soil. Our job is to sow the seeds. A farmer does not stop and say, I wonder if this is going in exactly the right spot where this little pumpkin or this little tomato is going to grow. They don't have time for that. Their family's livelihood depends on it. So they scatter as much seed as they can everywhere, and and spread it generously, right? And that's what messaging is. Because the online space is more saturated now than it was, I honestly have to message more people than I used to for the same result. I feel like it used to be 1 out of 10. Now I feel like, so maybe 10 and 100 would be interested. Now I feel like I might need to message 100, or, it might be almost double. And that's okay. Why? Because my goals are non-negotiable. My back was against the wall when I came to Bravenly. I walked away from a 6-figure income, and yes, it had dwindled, but it still paid more of our bills than my husband's income, and I needed to replace it fast. So I didn't get to choose comfort. I had to choose obedience. And another thing that I had to face was this. My audience needed to trust me again. I had been with a previous company for 5 years, and one before that for almost 5 years, and one before that for a year. People needed time to watch me. They needed consistency. They needed my heart and not hype. And I had to be okay that it might take me a little bit longer than it took somebody else. And I still have to remind myself of that. On top of that, I got slapped with a cease and desist from my former company, have a contract as a jewel, couldn't post about Bravenly on social media, still can't. And guess what that did, y'all? Obstacles are there to test your passion. It could stop me, or I can find a way around. And Tara's the perfect leader for me in that. So it forced me to message more people. And honestly, that's the blessing. You know why? It reminded me what I've always preached to my teams for years. Posting is the less important part of this business. I'm not saying it's not important, but it doesn't build the business for you. If you only have time, this is a cross I'll die on for one thing, I promise I'm done. One thing every day, get in your inbox, get on the phone, or get in front of people in person. So I've been a leader long enough to know and see so many of my girls with the prettiest posts and the perfectly curated feeds and the most consistent stories weren't really enrolling anyone or many. And maybe that's you tonight, because those girls were hiding behind their posts and avoiding the actual conversations. And I get it, because messaging can feel vulnerable, but again, that's why your mindset matters. So last thing is, I do send a voice memo to every single person. I don't send a voice memo to every single person, because that's not duplicatable. And we all know that's the secret to success in network marketing. So right now I'm sending a buttload of copy and paste messages, because I don't know who's going to actually answer, right? I'm scattering the seeds, and then I will jump in with a voice clip and make it more personalized, because that's where the relationship begins. So my hope is that this encouraged you tonight. Your energy is felt, your obedience matters, your story is powerful, and the seeds you plant today will absolutely turn into a harvest if you stay faithful long enough.
Holy moly, you guys. I was like typing like this. I don't know if y'all saw me, but I was like, yes, 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 typing as fast as I could. Like, all of this is so mic drop, every bit of it. So because we've got a opportunity Zoom in 6 minutes when we're going to have guests pop on, we're going to close this call. But like I said at the beginning, if you missed it, I have a document that I'm going to send out to you with all of these top enrollers and their top messages. So you don't have to ask, you don't have to go, what did she say? What did she say? And I also just typed up all of their top tips as well. So we have a messaging masterclass document that you guys can use. And I want to challenge everybody on this call. And if you're listening on a recording, I want to challenge you to the next 7 days, send out no less than 10 messages. Okay. And if that seems easy for you, double it. All right. The consistency, finding yourself, the mix of posting, all of these tips were incredible. Thank you, every single person, Deanne, Brianna, Mel, Kim. It is clear. If you missed it, Brave Collective in the team chat, or a team page, I just posted top enrollments. All of them are there. You guys are killing it. You guys know what you're talking about. So as we say, Success leaves clues, you guys. We're not just here talking because we like to hear ourselves talk. I mean, some of us do, but it's okay. Here's the deal. This stuff works if you do it. All right. Love you guys. We'll see y'all around. Keep enjoying the partner preview page. That event is so exciting. Love you guys. Bye.